Before we get into today's show, let me tell you about the latest deal from Mike Lindell, MyPillow. Once again, the big box stores have canceled their orders simply because they don't agree with Mike Lindell's politics. They don't like it because he supports President Trump. Well, he's going to pass that savings on to you. No more middleman. And boy, does he have some great deals on the Giza Dream Sheets and the Percal bed sheets. Listen to this. Giza Dream Queen Size, normally $139.98. Your wholesale price, $69.99 when you use promo code Joey. King size, only $79.99. The Percal Queen Size, normally $89.98. Your wholesale price, $29.98 when you use promo code Joey. Just call 1-800-893-4059 or go to MyPillow.com. Always use promo code Joey. Free shipping options available. This allotment's not going to last very long. When they're gone, they're gone. MyPillow.com. Promo code Joey. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition Studios. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. As we head into the Christmas holiday season, we're seeing the Christmas lights go up, trees are being decorated, families are gathering around the tables, planning for the season. It's also a time many people think about adding a pet to the family. But adopting a dog or a cat isn't just a Christmas morning surprise. It's a commitment for the life of that pet. That's why today we welcome the CEO of Greenville Humane Society, Rachel Delport, the organization doing critical work caring for pets, placing them in forever homes across the Upstate. And we'll talk about what it really takes to adopt responsibly now and what it means for those pets after the tinsel has been packed away. Rachel, it's always good to have you. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Always glad to be here.
Well, let's start, if you will. I know the past few weeks, I've noticed on your website that you've really been focusing and promoting foster care. So let's start with foster care and the need that you have there.
Yeah. I mean, foster care is such a critical point for animals, not only in our shelter, but animals in other shelters that we could potentially pool if we have the community come and support the animals in our care, even if it's just temporary. Fostering has so many great aspects to it. We learned so much about the animal that we don't necessarily see in the shelter environment. It gives them a little bit of break from this sheltering, the chaos sometimes that it can be. And ultimately, to that end, it allows us to pull more animals in and save those animals that may be euthanized for space and other shelters. So not only in fostering an animal are you helping one, you're actually saving one or multiples in that regard. So it has such a great impact, just that initial jump of fostering an animal.
Yeah. And Rachel, when someone wants to be involved with the fostering program that you have, typically how long do they foster that pet?
Yeah, so fostering, honestly, it is kind of dependent on the individual. We'll have some who will foster for a week. We have some who will foster 2 weeks. We do have some animals who have more long-term extended care, whether it's a heartworm treatment they're going through, or maybe they have an upcoming surgery. So it is dependent on the individual, the time that they have, and we are happy to find an animal that fits into that realm, again, being able to help another animal in our care.
So what you're saying there is you're flexible.
We are flexible, and
yes.
We have healthy fosters and sick fosters. So it essentially has a lot of opportunities for individuals who are interested.
Yeah. Now let's talk a minute because, of course, we've just finished up. We're in the Thanksgiving weekend here, heading into Christmas. For listeners who are thinking about adopting a pet this holiday season, let's talk about the adoption process at Greenville Humane Society and what steps they need to take to bring home a new companion.
Yeah, so we are open 7 days a week at our adoption center, Monday through Friday from 10:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturday from 10:30 to 5, and Sunday from 10:30 to 5. So there's a lot of time to come and look. But ultimately, we tell our community just to kind of do some research. Make sure that you're ready. This is a lifetime commitment. We don't want it to be a temporary one. We want them to really find their forever home. And to make that possible, we obviously have to do our part, ensuring that we are ready and set up to give them that successful life that they deserve.
Yeah.
And so I always say start with coming and visiting. We have a lot of information, too, on our website, just about the overall adoption process, things to do. But we also have adoption counselors who are happy to answer any questions that they have. anything financially that they might be seeing after they adopt a pet, how to prepare for that, and just ensuring that they feel comfortable and confident in the decision that they're making, and again, setting that animal up for success outside of the shelter environment.
And that website is greenvillehumane.com, greenvillehumane.com. My guest today, Rachel Delport, CEO of the Greenville Humane Society. Once someone adopts that pet, they make that decision. What are some of the key responsibilities that they need to be prepared for? And let's assume maybe someone's never had a pet, or they've gotten a pet for their child who's never had one, and especially in those weeks and months immediately following the adoption.
Yeah. I mean, animals like routine and consistency. They like predictability, so ensuring that you have a routine, you follow your own, ensuring that it is a seamless transition for that animal. So making sure, obviously, they get exercise. They're going out and using the bathroom, doing those things to help with potty training if that is something that animal needs. Making sure that you have all the toys, all the food, flea tick heartworm prevention, thinking about their ultimate health, being able to focus on that and give them, the supportive diet that they need to be healthy. We obviously have our vaccine clinic as well that helps get those annual vaccines. All of our animals are up to date on vaccines. They're spayed and neutered, microchipped, ready to go. Just ensuring after that time that they get that continual vaccine, health treatment, the things that they need to, again, be happy and healthy in their home.
Yeah. We talked about, of course, quite often families think, well, Christmas, that'd be a great Christmas gift to have a new pet under the tree on Christmas morning. Talk with us about this, and is it true that a lot of pets adopted around Christmas eventually get rehomed after the holiday and the newness wears off?
There are times that we do hear of that. We do see that. I think it boils down to ensuring that, whether it's mom and dad getting it for the kids, or, if you are getting it for another family member, ensure that they are ready for that they have the capacity to take care of them. Animals are absolutely fantastic, but they do take a lot of resources at times. And just want to make sure that people have the time, have the financial resources to give them what they need, so that animal doesn't end up back into the shelter environment. Or somewhere else. And so it's just ensuring that we as individuals, as human beings, are doing right by our four-legged friends and thinking about the impact that it could have on them if those individuals are not ready for that gift or commitment.
Yeah. Rachel Delport is with me today with the Greenville Humane Society. You mentioned a minute ago when we were talking about that responsibility that goes on long after the gift is received. What support does Greenville Humane do you give to new pet adopters? I mean, as far as medical checkups, maybe those vaccinations you mentioned, microchips. You and I have talked about the importance of microchip, and maybe even training support. What type of programs do y'all have with that?
Yes, so we have our vaccine clinic that is open to the community. Individuals can get flea, tick, heartworm preventative at a lot lower cost that is affordable, ensuring that their animal is getting that, pill every single month to keep them safe. We obviously have our vaccines as well, so those yearly vaccines, they're able to get those. There's no exam fee. And again, the vaccine clinic is open 5 days a week. Anyone in the general community is able to use that, or connecting communities can come and use those resources. At the time of adoption, too, we have really changed our adoption process over the past 2 or 3 years to really focus and hone in on post-adoption care. What are things? What could you expect? What could happen? At that time, we do have the opportunity, if individuals feel inclined, to opt into pet insurance. This pet insurance allows them to have that support, and it could be about $25 a month. But say you have to end up in the emergency care, and that bill is going to be $8,000, and you don't have $8,000 to pay, but you pay that $25 a month, and guess what? It comes up, the insurance is able to cover, anywhere from 50 to sometimes 75% of that bill.
Yeah.
So it's just thinking about the overall longevity of that animal, understanding, that sometimes things happen, but ensuring that you can afford those things, give them the things that they need to live that great life. But We have those services. And then, too, we understand as animals grow, sometimes their behavior might change, and you may need a little extra support and basic training, foundational work, or more extensive things. And our behavior enrichment team provides those public classes to the community to support you. We want you and your animal to have a happy family and everything to go well, and we want to support you in every facet of that.
Yeah. And if you would, and you and I talked about this a few months ago, Rachel, but the importance of microchips. And I know you guys a few months ago opened your 24/7 scanning station there, which was just amazing. But talk with us about that importance and how you can help people with the new pet and the microchips.
Yes, so it's really ensuring that, one, the animal has a microchip. All of our animals are microchipped upon intake. So as soon as that animal is adopted, it automatically assumes the information of the owner. We just encourage individuals, make sure you update that. Sometimes people change phone numbers, sometimes they change addresses. And if your animal were to get away, everyone in this area, it's just routine that they scan an animal for a microchip. Animals that have a microchip are about 65% more likely to get back to their family members versus one that is not. And so that is a very simple thing. It's something, too, that you can get at our vaccine clinic if you already own an animal who doesn't have a microchip, or maybe you're unsure. We're happy to scan that animal to see if they have one. Make sure you have that information. So if you need to update it, you can do that. But ultimately, it really keeps your animal safe should your animal go missing and get them back to you a lot sooner.
Yeah. Now, Rachel, as far as the microchipping and your clinic, your low-cost vaccines and all, that's available to anyone. You do not have to have adopted your pet. Is that correct?
That is correct. It is available to absolutely anyone. You don't need to adopt from us to be able to use it. It is just available to the general public.
Yeah. And again, you can get information at greenvillehumane.com. That's greenvillehumane.com. Now, if someone's listening and maybe they've been thinking about getting a pet for the holidays, but they're just not quite ready, they're not quite sure, and they're listening to you today talking about the responsibility here, and they're not ready for that full commitment, but they still maybe want to help the Greenville Humane Society. You have volunteer opportunities. Obviously, you can donate. You can go to greenvillehumane.com and hit that donation button. But you need volunteers as well, right?
We always need volunteers. They help support our overall operations and what we do. And individuals can also use our paws around Gville, so taking a walk around town, just to kind of spend time with animals and see if that's something that they are committed to. And two, fostering. You can foster for a few days. We have temporary fosters, so see if that is a good fit if you're ready to jump into that. But there's multiple ways that you can get involved, spreading the word, spreading our mission, and that's really what allows us to do more.
Yeah. And look, you guys just do wonderful work. And Peg and I, we just love our two Cocker Spaniels, Jesse and Simon. And just I look at your website quite often, and you see posts on Facebook of some of the cute little puppies and all that you have available. And look, we wish we had room for hundreds of them around the house, because you can't have too many, but they are a big responsibility. Finally, for folks listening who again may want to help, tell us how someone can donate during this. Look, this is the time of giving.
It sure is a time of giving, and we are just so thankful for individuals who have supported our mission and continue to do so. And if people feel led and have the capacity, they can come straight to our website at greenvillehumane.com. At the very top right hand of our website, you will see a green donate button, and you can give there. Individuals can also come on site and give. That's a great time to love on some of the animals this holiday season, even if you can't bring them into your home. So however you feel led to give, and whatever you can truly makes a difference in our overall mission.
Yeah, Rachel Delport is my guest with the Greenville Humane Society. Typically, how many animals do you serve each year?
So we serve anywhere from 4,500 to 5,000 animals each year, and that is aside from just the individuals that we serve for the vaccine clinic, our spay and neuter clinic. So that's the animals we adopt out to the community, but each year we're essentially helping support over 100,000 animals each year with our community.
Wow, 100,000?
100,000. We sure are. We essentially we do about 88,000 vaccines each year, and we spay and neuter about over 16,000 animals each year.
Yeah. And is that done at your clinic there on Airport Road, or do you have other locations around, or do you have clinics that like pop-up clinics in other areas?
So it's all here on site at 305 Airport Road.
Okay, that's easy enough to find. And again, you can get information at their website, greenvillehumane.com, greenvillehumane.com. Rachel, it's always a pleasure. And again, I just really appreciate what you do for the community. And look, if you love pets and you want to get involved, they need volunteers. But if you don't have the time to do that, or you're not able to do that, go to their website, make whatever contribution you feel comfortable in doing, and help during this holiday season. Do you get busier during the holidays?
We sure do. I think with all the holiday spirit, everyone's excited. Individuals want to come in. Kids are typically out of school. It's a fun family event. And ultimately, too, our animals get so much love during this time, and it brightens all of our spirits.
Yeah. When you take in a dog, for example, what is a typical amount of time before that dog is adopted?
Yeah, so our length of stay right now for our adult dogs is about 10 to 12 days, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to, keep that less than 15 days for all of our animals. But, as you have it, we have some that come in that may have some medical, things that need to be worked on. So sometimes their length of stay obviously is increased to ensure we're able to give them the care that they need. But your healthy general adult dog that's coming in is typically adopted within 10 to 12 days.
Yeah. Rachel, thank you again for your time. Thanks for what you do, and we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's Joey Hudson. The holidays are here, and while most people are adding pounds, what if you could start 2026 feeling lighter and more confident? I lost over 30 pounds with PhD weight loss, and it completely changed how I think about food. My coach showed me what to eat, how to handle the holidays, and how to enjoy meals without guilt. At PhD, their metabolic reset system helps your body burn fat first so you lose weight naturally and you keep it off. No starvation diets, no crazy workouts, no drugs, just a smarter science-based system that actually works. And right now, for November only, PhD Weight Loss is waiving your consultation fee, adding 2 free weeks to your program, and even covering the cost of your food. Plus, just for booking, you'll get their free guide, 5 steps to reset the scale. Mention code 2026START to claim these bonuses. Get started today. Call 864-644-1900. That's 864-644-1900. And you can find them online at myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss. Feel amazing during the holidays and beyond. On the program today, we're joined by Greenville's own, and I'm going to call him the servant-in-chief, Red Martin, co-founder of Sunday Dinner with a Twist. What began as a simple Sunday meal has grown into a powerful outreach that brings hot meals, compassion, and community to men and women experiencing homelessness in the Upstate. As we head into, we got the Thanksgiving weekend here right in the middle of it, a time many of us gather around food and fellowship. We're going to talk about how Red and his team turned that same table into a place of hope, dignity, and belonging for those often overlooked. Red, welcome. It's always good to talk to you. Thank you for your work, and thanks for being here.
Well, it's an honor, Mr. Joey. You're a great guy, and I always listen to you, and I'm just so thankful that you're recognizing the Sunday Dinner.
Well, it's a pleasure. I admire what you guys are doing. And Red, for the sake of our listeners who may not be familiar with what you do, let's just start at the beginning. Tell us how Sunday Dinner with a Twist got started, what inspired you and your wife, Cassandra, to begin feeding people every Sunday.
Well, I experienced homelessness for about 18 years of my life, on and off, and through struggles with mental health, drug addiction, and alcoholism. And I met my wife 10 years ago. I was living on the streets, and I was homeless, and I was working at the Greenville Drive to support my habit. And she was working part-time, and she came into the team store, and we instantly became friends, and we fell in love, and the rest is history.
Wow.
So we were out one day, and she asked me what I wanted to do because I'm on disability and I can't work. And I was just thinking about something to do to give back because so many people never gave up on me, and she was one of them. So about close to 8 years ago, we were out handing plates out, and she asked me, how do they cook? And I said, well, they usually cook on grills or, cook on the dirt, grilled dirt or whatever. And then they, that's how they eat.
Mm-hmm.
And she she said, wow, what they're missing is Sunday dinner, like my grandma used to cook, because no matter what you was going through, you could always go to grandma's house.
Yep.
And that's where it started. And we started going out, and we started with about, Cassandra would make about 80 meals every Sunday and in our kitchen. And then we would go out, and I would get in the hatchback and back with the plates, and she would drive around Greenville, and we would just hand them out. And we started building relationships with the men and women out there and finding out their stories, finding out why they were there, and finding out that most of them went through most of the same trauma that I went through when I was a child, and the reason why I drank and drugged. And then, so it's grown since then. We had one phone call with Mickey Plyler on the Roar. We were down to $50, and me and Cassandra had spent all our money on this, and we had been doing it for about 2 years. And that phone call from Mickey Plyler that morning changed Sunday dinner, because we had $50 left, and the day we looked in the account had $50. Reggie Pleasant, who is the pastor of the Clemson football team,
Mm-hmm.
gave us $1,000 check. And when he gave us that check, we were able to feed for 2 more weeks. And then I turned on the Roar, which I listen to all the time. And I've never called in. I called in, and they were talking about the character of Clemson. And everybody was talking about Dabo being the character. And I just called Mickey in and told him about how the character falls down to his coaches, because he had Tony Elliott and Coach, all the coaches that he had around him had great character. And I told him about Reggie giving us that check, and Mickey just stopped and asked about Sunday dinner, and he asked about my story, and we talked through breaks and everything. And by that afternoon, the Roar listeners raised over $11,000.
Wow.
And it just kicked off and went on from there.
Wow.
So.
And Coach Sweeney and the whole Clemson program has been very supportive. I mean, that's the first time I met you was at Coach Sweeney's big dinner for his foundation, and they have been big supporters. Well, Red, that's just an amazing story, and I love to hear how you guys got started. Many of us are having a big Thanksgiving meal this weekend with family and friends. I mean, it's just a whole week-long celebration. How do you translate that family around the table concept, if you will, into your outreach for people who don't have a home or a regular family gathering?
Well, one of the things that we do, we go to them where they're at. And like yesterday, Stanley Martin Homes team provided 94 meals, plates for the homeless. And we rode around to the spots where we usually go out on Sunday, and we handed out the plates. And the people from Stanley Martin have never been out with us, but they caught on, and they were just loving on the people and talking to them and finding out their stories. It was just an amazing time. They've never experienced anything like it. And once they saw the first plate handed out, it just it opened them up to a new world.
Right.
And
Well, this is something that anybody, actually everybody, should be involved in. I mean, it doesn't take a lot for those of us who are just really blessed to share that with people. You shared your story, Red, and with me today, Red Martin. His organization is Sunday Dinner with a Twist. You can find out additional information at his website, sundaydinnerwithatwist.org, sundaydinnerwithatwist.org. You can see the story, and of course, you can help support this program with a nice donation during this Thanksgiving time. This is a time of thanks, and for those of us who are blessed, we should show that, and with organizations like Red. But Red, you talked about your addiction, your homelessness, and then your transformation. You found Christ. How does that personal journey influence how you serve others now, especially during this season of Thanksgiving?
Well, when me and Cassandra started this, she asked me how I wanted to do it and what I wanted to do. And I told her that I want to give these men and women everything that I ever wanted when I was out there homeless. Like, I wanted somebody to look me in my eyes. I wanted somebody to tell me they loved me.
Yeah.
And I wanted somebody to love me and be consistent. You know, we go out every Sunday, and we've been consistent for almost 8 years, and we've only missed one Sunday, and that was because of Helena, and we had no power.
Yeah.
And I used to tell her a story about how people would walk up to me and tell me how much Jesus loved me while I was sitting beside a trash can that I just ate out of.
Yeah. Wow.
And they would walk away, and I would still be hungry. And I told Cassandra that story. And I said, I know we can't reach everybody. We just don't have the funding and stuff like that to reach everybody. But I want to reach as many people I can so they'll never experience hunger or shame for being homeless.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Let's talk about how this actually happens logistically. Taking on a large meal project for people living on the streets or in unstable housing. I would imagine it probably has some unique challenges. What are some of the biggest logistical or operational hurdles that you face each week, and especially around a big holiday week like Thanksgiving?
Well, some of the obstacles was taken care of when Meals on Wheels started allowing us to use their kitchen to cook every Sunday. And I can't thank Miss Katrina Carlisle, enough that every Sunday we'll be able to go in their kitchen and cook. And
wow.
When I watch my wife in there, it's like she went from a jail cell length kitchen to now she's in a big old beautiful commercial kitchen. And it's like she's showing her magic in there. She's from the back to the front, and we have some wonderful churches that have been coming out, helping us and helping her prepare the meal, and it's just so awesome.
Yeah. Wow. Red Martin is my guest. You can find out additional information about Sunday Dinner with a Twist at sundaydinnerwithatwist.org. And if you feel led to do so, and then make a generous contribution so that Red and Cassandra and his whole team can continue this ministry in our upstate community. You know, Red, holidays can be tough for everybody. We all have special memories of holidays, some good, some bad. For someone who is without a home or a family this holiday weekend, what do you hope your Sunday dinner conveys beyond food? What message are you trying to send?
Well, one of our slogans is showing love with no stipulations. And when doing that, I mean, we don't care if they've been drinking. We don't care if they're drugging. We don't care if they're going through a mental health episode. The way we found out is if you feed them, that goes to their heart. And once you get their heart, it goes to the mind.
Yeah.
And once you have their mind and you tell them and you look at them and make them feel human, because that's one of the biggest things. People think these are not humans. And Jesus loves us all no matter what. No matter whether you're homeless, whether you have $1 million house, Jesus loves you just the same. And that's what we try to convey to our men and women out there, that they're people. And Jesus loves us all no matter what. And he loved me through my worst. And I'm just so thankful for the love of God and his mercy.
Yep. Yep.
His grace and mercy.
Yep. Red, for our listeners today, obviously you need money, funding, and so they can go to
Yes,
sundaydinnerwithatwist.org and make a donation. But what about other ways people can help? Volunteering or, just supporting the cause. How can people help you this year?
well, during the winter months, it's coats and hats and scarves, and one of the main things that we really need is shoes, like real good shoes, because homeless, the men and women out there are walking constantly, and walking on a bad pair of shoes can be the worst time of your life.
Yeah.
Um, so we try to get them nice shoes, stuff that we do tell people if you wouldn't wear it, we wouldn't want them to wear it.
Right.
And so we try to get real nice shoes. We try to buy them new shoes and work boots and stuff that they can go to work, steel toe boots and stuff like that. It's just we're trying to get away from. We've been asked not to give any tents out in the city,
Right.
and we've honored that. We're not going to do that, but sleeping bags and blankets and stuff that they can wrap up in, because
Yeah.
it is cold out there.
You're right.
It's cold at 55 degrees, just as cold as at 42. And so
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Red, earlier you mentioned your faith, and that plays a big role in what you and Cassandra do. Can you share how that your Christian faith guides the work of Sunday Dinner with a Twist, and how those convictions play out, particularly at this Thanksgiving time when we think about gratitude and abundance and service to others?
Well, I never knew that God loved me through
Wow.
my whole life, with all the trauma that I went through and all the stuff that I've done in my life. I thought I was being punished by God, until I met my wife, and she literally taught me about her grandmother's love and the way she loved. And she loved me even when I tried to push her away, and she wouldn't leave because I never thought I deserved her. And once I saw that she loved me unconditionally, and she showed me a love from God that I never, ever experienced before, I was like, wow, there's something to it. And then this old man sat me down one day, and his name is Sterling Watts, and he sat me down and he showed me God's love on paper, because he asked me to write down how many times I was in jail, how many times I went to treatment, how many times I honestly tried to commit suicide, and how many times I ever been in a psychiatric hospital. And my numbers were 32 treatment centers, 8 psychiatric hospitals, 6
Wow.
rooms in jail. 5 times I honestly tried to commit suicide, even shooting myself in the chest on March 23rd of 2000. And on the bottom of the piece of paper, he said, write down how many friends and family members that you know have died of this disease of alcoholism. And I had 8. And usually when I did work with him, I just slid the paper over. But this time something just came over me and said, read it. And when I picked that paper up and I started reading it, there was no denying that God loved me so much. And he put me in those places every single time, because I should have been number 9 a long time ago. And when I put that paper down, I was crying, and I felt it. I felt God's love for the very first time in my life, there was no denying that God wanted me and God loved me.
Yeah.
And since that day, I haven't thought about committing suicide. And the thing is, before that day, I never could put 3 days in a row that I ever wanted to live.
Yeah. Wow.
And it was just,
Wow. Well, you certainly, Red, I commend you on turning your life around, but more importantly, serving others. As I started our interview here together, I really think you could be considered the servant in chief for Upstate South Carolina. And let's take just a minute here and talk about the future. Are you have any special plans, or as we head into a new year soon?
well, hopefully by next year, it was one of our goals that we could find a building that we can open up and we could bring them in and have a place for them to sit down and enjoy a meal like a human.
Yeah.
Instead of giving them a styrofoam plate and they're going over eating on the ground, they can come in and be served like they're people. And that's one of our main goals, is to have Cassandra a kitchen where she can just crop up some love and through her plates of food, and we could have volunteers come in and just show compassion and love to these men and women.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that's what Jesus does for all of us.
Yep. Every single day he does. Red, always a pleasure to catch up with you, my friend. Again, you can support this wonderful ministry, SundayDinnerWithATwist.org, SundayDinnerWithATwist.org. Red, God bless you and appreciate you very much, my friend.
Well, thank you so much. And y'all have a beautiful day, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. That's it for today's edition of Just the Truth. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition Studio. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. If you haven't joined our mailing list yet, visit my website, joeyhudson.com. Just click on the Connect with Joey button so that you can receive our emails and the most up-to-date news. Also, find me on YouTube. Be sure and like, subscribe. Follow me on my YouTube channel. Just search for Joey Hudson. Appreciate you spending a few minutes of your day with me. Be sure and forward this edition of Just the Truth to some friends. Just click on the share button. Send it to a few of your contacts, because if we're going to build our community and if we're going to win in November, we got to build an army of conservatives. The way we beat Joe Biden is through educating people, and no better way than encouraging them to listen to Just the Truth. Hey, keep those comments coming via the Furman Ford text line, 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Your emails always welcome as well. Joey@joeyhudson.com. Don't forget to take advantage of the MyPillow special, $25 for the My Towels 6-piece towel set when you use promo code Joey. Just go to MyPillow.com.